Hello and welcome back to Daily Express Sports Women in Sport live series. If you've not caught us before, well, welcome. We have got a whole playlist of videos for you to catch up on where we speak to women who work within the world of sport and we talk about all the achievements they've done so far and of course some of the issues which have cropped up along the way. Of course, we want to hear from you. If you've got any questions, any comments or anything that you do want to talk about in today's show, then just pop them in the comment section. And if you've been wondering where we have been for the past 2 or 3 weeks, well, of course, it was sadly the Queen's passing last week. So that was 1 week. Then the week before, we do need a little bit of time off as journalists. So we took a couple of weeks leave where you've been catching up on all the videos. There are lots to catch up on. So as I said, do check out the Women in Sport playlist on our Facebook and our socials. If you're tuning in live from Twitter, hello there too. Now we are celebrating as we have been nominated for a Press Gazette Digital Storytelling Award. The award ceremony is tomorrow, where we are up for digital storytelling and are up against some huge media outlets such as Sky News. We will let you know how that goes. Do keep an eye on our Instagram, where we'll be doing some photos and some video of the evening with the team. And of course, for some of the team who can't make it, we will, of course, be giving them a shout out too. So keep an eye. But that's the admin out the way. We have got a very exciting guest on today, Lowri Earith, who is the founder of Girls and Goals subscription boxes. Welcome on, Lowri.
Hi, thank you for having me.
So Lowri joins us from North Wales today. Now, I don't know about you, Lowri, but it's pretty cloudy in London. How is it in Wales?
We have blue skies, I'm sorry to tell you. I can see blue skies from my window.
You're just making it worse. You're just making it worse. Well, okay, so we're going to move away from the weather now and on something a bit more exciting. Any time of the year, of course, you can play sport, and particularly football. Now, we have seen some amazing coverage for women's football, or just football, over the summer. I'm so sick of putting women's in front of it, right? I don't know about you.
Yes.
So talk me through why that has been such an inspiration and has really fed into what you do now.
So I have always just generally liked football. I watch football, but I've never played it. It was not really an option when I was younger. So that side of things I've never done. And then my youngest daughter, who's 7 years old, she joined a girls' football team last summer. And that really sort of changed everything for us. She just absolutely loved it and took to it, and it became something that we did together, going to her matches, going to her trainings, training in the garden. And then obviously with the Women's Euros, that just completely exploded. Everyone was so excited about it and fired up about it that I wanted to do something and to kind of build a community around that. Because I didn't really feel like there was anything out there on Facebook. So I set up a Facebook community for parents, for girls, for coaches, all involved in girls football, to kind of bring them together and give them a place to celebrate girls football, celebrate their achievements, and just somewhere that they could be around other people who had the same interests as them.
Yeah, and obviously the next question for me would be, why did you feel like you needed a space like that?
I think because there are other Facebook groups related to girls football, but they tend to be more specifically about just finding players for a specific team or arranging matches and tournaments. And I didn't feel like there was anywhere where people could go and say, my daughter got Star of the Week and everyone sort of celebrate that with her. You can do it on your own Facebook profiles, but I wanted somewhere where girls could really champion each other, because I have various businesses, and women championing other women has been such a huge part of all of my businesses, that I wanted to kind of create that for girls. So, and I just didn't think there was anything out there like that.
Now, in terms of the demographic, I'm guessing obviously it's mostly women, but do men join as well?
Yeah, definitely. I've been surprised at the amount of men that did join, because my sort of background has always been creating communities for women,
Yeah.
that I wasn't prepared probably for how many men have joined. But I think there's a lot of dads who get their daughters into football, who maybe also coach the football team. So there's actually been a lot of dads that have joined the group, which is really nice to see, and seeing how proud they are of their daughters or of their football team, and sharing that has been lovely, actually.
And are you surprised by how many men have wanted to get involved?
Yeah, I mean, actually, my husband's very involved with my daughter.
Yeah.
You know, he's always playing football in the garden with my children and stuff. So I suppose it shouldn't be a surprise. But the level of positivity that the men as well bring into the group, it is amazing. And I've occasionally put up like a post about, how stressful it is being a football mum. I'm a mum, not a mum. Football mum, and running about. And the dads have commented and said, hey, it's stressful being a football dad as well. We have to make sure the tea's done to make sure they're at, So yeah, they're just as involved as we are.
And when you had your daughter, did you ever think, oh, she's going to be really into football? Or was it only
No,
up until she...
absolutely not. Not at all. No. I mean, we're a relatively sporty family anyway. I have a fitness business. My husband is a Thai boxer. So there's always been an element of sport in our family. But no, I definitely didn't see her being a sports person. And to be fair, when she first started, she was purely doing it for the fun. She still is now, but her level of skill has increased massively. But when she first started, she was having fun, and she was dancing around on the pitch, and, vaguely chasing after the ball, as little kids do.
Yes.
But yeah, now, I mean, she wants to be a goalkeeper now, which is incredibly stressful as a parent. But she's doing trainings, and she's going to like goalkeeper specific trainings and courses and summer camps and stuff to really hone her skills, which is not something I ever thought I'd be saying.
So when did she turn around and go, actually, I really want to get involved now?
I think she always kind of did, but she didn't really have those skills in place. And then as she's seen herself progress, and as her amazing coaches have, rewarded her with Star of the Week and stuff like that when she has played really well, it's just given her that courage. Yeah, and she's just grown and grown from that. And she kept saying she wants to be a goalkeeper, and I thought, is that just because you don't really want to run around too much? But I just sent her on like a goalkeeper's course, like just a one-day thing with Chester Football Club. And to be honest, I thought it would put her right off, and it did the exact opposite. She came home from it and she was like, yep, I want to be a goalkeeper. So we're going to run with that.
So if she turned around and said, look, I see this as a serious career prospect for me in the future, what would be your reaction as a parent? Because when I speak to professional athletes and former professional athletes, the topic which always comes up is longevity. One, the fact that, everything else is beneath your career at the top, and then everything else comes afterwards. Yeah. So the lack of sort of like social life, love life affects everything, and financial stability. So if she turned around, would there be any concerns, do you think?
I mean, I think as a parent, you're always going to have those concerns. But I went to drama school, so my parents were very understanding. And I like to think that I would be just as understanding. If it's really what she wanted, I would say 100% go for it. There's always, ways and means of everything. And if it didn't work out, she's an incredibly feisty, vivacious little girl. Yeah. I have no concerns that she wouldn't go on to do something else equally wonderful. So no, if that's what she wanted to do, I would support any of my children in whatever they wanted to do.
Exactly the right attitude, obviously. Now, in terms of her speaking to her peers about this. I can imagine, you know, now with the, you know, the lionesses and given so much exposure, that it's really helped girls to realize, oh, it's not just a boys' game. But has she had any of that kind of stick, like, oh my gosh, you play football?
I mean, definitely, like, she does have some concerns. Like, she's just moved into the juniors, which means they can now sort of play football at lunchtime and stuff like that. And she is a bit nervous of doing it with the boys being there and that they won't include her. But she's very lucky that there's a lot of girls in her year group and in her class who also play for the same football team. So she's got a really good bank of girls around her who are all passionate about what they're doing.
Awesome.
I still don't think at 7 that she's going to march up to the boys and say, right, I want to play. I think she's just not quite there yet. But I could see her having a kick about with the other girls who are also on her team. So I think that definitely helps.
She's well on her way, and she'll probably be their captain before too long.
I would imagine so.
I imagine. Now, obviously, your daughter wants to be known as the co-founder.
She does, very much so.
And now that's what I mean. She's definitely going to be captain. So she knows what she wants, which I absolutely love. She obviously seems very confident, very sporty. And your husband is very supportive. Have you had any negative backlash, or perhaps not backlash per se, or concerns over
I mean, I think because my demographic is specifically girls football, so it is young girls, I think there's a lot less negativity there than there is women's football. I think, you know, I click on the comments of various posts and you read what people have to say and the negative things they have to say about women's football, professional women in football. You know, it's often very derogatory, but I think because my niche is a lot younger than that, I haven't really experienced that, because I think, you know, people generally are quite happy for little girls to play football. I'm sure once these little girls turn into women, then they will start to receive probably more of a backlash. But at the demographic that I'm at, not so much. No, I wouldn't say.
And lots of people do say that it all starts from a really young age. So you're obviously starting at the right age, because people then realise, and hopefully through the generations, that it's totally acceptable, and then we won't have to be having so many of these conversations, right?
Definitely. I mean, we're moving in that direction already.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, Tommy has got a question, the producer behind the scenes. Does Lowri believe that this is the first step towards boosting girls' participation in football before we then get to the point where the FA and the government need to support and get involved more?
Yeah, definitely. I think things have, even in the last few months, shifted massively. People are speaking out and saying, you know, they want equal opportunities for girls to play football in school. I see the local clubs around me, the local leisure centres, putting on more and more girls only football sessions, or even including girls in their advertising. You know, you see it now. They'll have a picture of a boy and they'll also have a picture of a girl, and you just wouldn't have seen that before. So I think the shift is definitely happening. I think the FA and the government will probably be slower to act than the general public, but I'm definitely seeing the change across my social media, across the different businesses that I work with my subscription box, that the girls' football, they aren't going to be able to not act on it, because it is growing at such an enormous rate that, you know, they'd be foolish not to keep up with what's actually happening on the ground.
And what do you say to people? This is not of my opinion, obviously, otherwise I wouldn't be hosting a women in sports series. But what do you say to people who just say, well, it's just a ticking boxing exercise, they just need to look like it's equal gender equality?
I mean, people will say that about everything, whether it's a character in a TV program, a newsreader, whatever it is, they'll always say that. But I think if they were to see what I see in the Facebook group, to see the girls, to see their achievements, to see their coaches and how proud they are, to see their parents and how, you know, how much they want to share what their girls are achieving, I think they'd realize very quickly how wrong they are.
Well, quite a little bit of education goes a long way.
Definitely.
It is what I think. Now, did you girls and parents all get together when the Lionesses were playing?
We didn't know. We just watched it at home. Obviously, I was within my Facebook group. You know, we were all chatting in there, so it was very much a community thing. I'd shared like some downloads that the girls could do to like colour in flags, because at 7, sometimes they're not that into watching football. They love playing it. Well, a lot of young girls, they get very easily distracted. So I'd sent them like like football kits that they could design and flags that they could colour, and you know, little recipes that they could have made beforehand for some party food, and masks to cut out, things like that, so that the girls could be involved in it at their own level, because 90 minutes is a long time for a young girl to sit and, you know, watch football.
It is. And in terms of the highlights, there's probably too many to count, but are there any standout moments for you that you thought, okay, all this hard work is really worth it?
I mean, for within my business, well, I mean, we launched our subscription box last month, which was kind of the culmination of building the community that I'd built. And the boxes landed last Friday. And in the last sort of week, well, since Friday to now, I've had so many videos and photographs of the girls opening their boxes and doing the activities. They got like little cones and they had an activity to do, and the girls straight away putting on their Miss Kick headbands and getting in the garden and playing, and just seeing those videos and the pictures and how much the girls felt like this was something for them, because like, it's not a subscription box for children who love football. It's specifically for girls, and it's aimed at them, and it's to make them feel included and make them like know 100% that this is their sport too. So for me, the culmination of it is definitely seeing those girls having our product in their hands, and just the joy on their faces was just...
God, completely, and actually sort of seeing it, you know, it's one thing coming up with the idea in your head, then doing it, and then actually seeing it in action. I can imagine.
Yeah, and now, how much my daughter's been involved with it from the start. You know, she's helped me with choosing all of the items that are going in. She's helped me with the branding. She's, you know, done little photo shoots for me with the boxes and stuff. And so she's been involved every step of the way. And she gets just as excited when we get a video of a girl, you know, opening the box. You know, she's so proud. And so, yeah, that makes it all worthwhile.
Now, awkward if you do say no.
Okay.
Do you have a box within reaching distance?
Not in reaching distance, no. I almost got one before, but no, not in reaching distance. It's in the next room.
In the next, well, we can literally give you 2 seconds whilst I can talk about something in the meantime.
I can definitely do that.
Go get that box. So whilst Lowri goes to get her subscription box, and we can see what's in it, and see what these little girls who do really want to get into football is all about, we can talk about the Digital Storytelling Future of Media Awards tomorrow. This is a media industry award show where we will be going, and we'll be up against other titles, as I say, Sky News with war reporting. It's all about digital storytelling. Obviously, the way that you're watching this right now, it will be on social media, or you'll be watching a short clip out of it on our socials, and that is all storytelling through digital. Now, obviously, we live in a modern era, and people, how they consume news is very different these days to how they consume news, say 20 years ago. A lot of people find news on their phone. They want short, sharp videos and a story to tell with people. So whilst I've explained that, Lowri has gone to go get the subscription box. So let's have a look. The big reveal.
Here we go. So you can see.
Oh wow!
Who's there? We've been really...
Talk us through it.
We've been really lucky that some big names who are doing amazing things in girls football have really got involved. Miss Kick, who I'm sure you've heard of, they are a brand that are getting bigger and bigger. And they have done little Miss Kick headbands, which are all in the welcome boxes, the little sporty ones with the rubber. And as soon as the girl puts it on, because they see all the players wearing this sort of headband, they suddenly just feel so much more professional. And it's amazing the change that you see in them just from getting their Miss Kick headbands. The pictures I've had of the girls wearing them completely wrong, but just so happy to have them.
It's that recognition, right? That they're doing something which is just not just like amateur, sort of like, you know, they properly feel like
100%. The pictures have been amazing. Yes. And we also had She Kick magazine, who did a Women's Euro special magazine, which is just all about girls football. And they put a magazine into the boxes as well. So that was brilliant. And seeing the girls, you know, going through it and being like, oh, look, who's that? Oh, I know that player. I know that player. That was lovely to see. And actually, I think one of the girls who were in my group was actually featured in the magazine. So she messaged as well to say, I'm actually in that magazine. So that was really cool.
That's lovely.
But one of the things that was really important to me to put in the box, obviously it's mostly football related items, but going from my background of things that have helped me within my life and my businesses, I wanted it to have something that was just motivational generally for the girls, something that would just inspire them. And one of the things that I put into last month's box was just a little wish bracelet. I've got one in this box. It's a little wish bracelet that they could use as like a good luck charm. It had a little good luck message with it. And the messages that I got back of girls who'd like rubbed it before the match and wished that they'd be player of the week and then got player of the week. And it's like, obviously the bracelet didn't do that. They did it. But the bracelet kind of gave them the confidence to do it.
And the mind.
Yeah, definitely. So motivation. So it isn't just football stuff. There's also motivation for them that's going to sort of carry over from the pitch just into their general life. Because for me, that's something that's really important. So I didn't want it to be purely football. I wanted it to really help them just generally, because it's not easy being a kid.
And as you said, within your own life, you've had times where you might have had something like that where you've gone to it and it's changed your mindset. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, I mean, I've been an entrepreneur. I've had other businesses, and they never run that smoothly. That's just not how it goes. And so I've, read a lot about ways to sort of build your own motivation and goal setting, and really getting clear with what you want in life. And I think that is something that really has helped me. And I've tried all the things. I've tried all the crystals and the writing your goals out. I've tried it all, and I do think whether one specific thing works, I think if you take that time to focus on yourself and focus on what you want and really work on your mindset, it's hugely helpful. And it has been for me, both in my businesses and just personally. Obviously, everyone has their own troubles and their own things that they go through. Yes. And I think sometimes when you are running your own businesses, which I've done for a few years now, it can be a lot of pressure. And although I have an amazing support network around me, the buck stops with you. And I imagine that's the same on a football pitch. The girls have got teammates and they've got coaches, but on that day, in that moment, the buck stops with them. And so I think if you've got the right mindset, and if you are doing things to improve your mindset on like a daily basis, then I think that's only going to benefit you, because I know it's benefited me.
And you said, obviously, the fact that children get distracted. What do you think is the biggest challenge for girls at the moment right now?
I mean, the demographic that I'm specifically working with this first box is kind of the 5 to 10-year-olds. So they're having fun with it at the moment. It's not too serious. I know that once you get into becoming a teenager or a preteen, I know that things shift, and I know that they become more self-aware and self-conscious, and that's when a lot of girls start to drop out of sport. And so my intention is for my next box to be something aimed at that age group, because and that will be more motivation and more of that kind of thing, because at the moment the sort of 7 to 9-year-olds, they're just having fun, and it's just like they do swimming, or they go to a dance class, or they do gymnastics. It is all that kind of a thing. I think once you get that little bit older, and one, it gets a little bit more serious, but also you go to high school and things change and you become more body conscious and more, all of that stuff can start to prevent girls from taking part in sport.
We know stats wise that lots and lots of girls do drop out at that age. Puberty, daunting, running around on a pitch when you've just started your period or something.
100%.
And it's one of your first periods and you just think, actually, I can't think of anything worse right now than wearing a pair of shorts. I've got awful tummy pains. What if I leak or something like that? I mean, but these are real issues.
These are real issues for women.
And it happens every single day. And it's the kind of conversation that needs to be spoken about, right?
Definitely, 100%. So I also think it's important because the demographic within my group is much bigger. So we do have older girls in there, and them posting about their struggles and things that have gone right for them or wrong for them when they played for a team and then they moved to an academy and then they got dropped by the academy. I think it's really important for the younger girls to be able to see that and know that it's okay for your football career to kind of go like that, and it doesn't need to be straight up. So I think that's something as well that's been really, really nice to see within the group, the girls sharing their own stories.
And what's been the biggest struggle for you throughout all of this?
I mean, it's honestly been a joy. Like, it's really hard honestly, it really has been a joy. I think, like, for me, the biggest struggle is always me. It's the self-belief. When I started this business, I knew it's the first ever subscription box for girls who love football. There isn't anything else out there like that at all. And I knew that if I didn't do it, someone else was going to do it, and then I'd be kicking myself forever. So I think the biggest struggle has been me just having to keep pushing forward if you have had a little setback and not just abandon it. But honestly, it's been a joy. It's been so lovely. The community has grown from nothing at the end of July, when I started it, to 1.6k people in there. It's been a matter of like a month and a half, and it's so active and people are sharing every single day, sharing videos and photos of the girls and commenting and supporting each other. And honestly, it's been a joy.
I mean, that's fantastic to hear. Women supporting other women, right? And it's all about male allies as well, getting
100%.
Getting the word out there. And I'm guessing it's just word of mouth at the moment, or are you going to do any talks and stuff within schools or communities?
At the moment, it's word of mouth, and obviously that's working amazingly well. Once one girl gets into the group or gets the subscription box, she automatically has a team of girls around her, or we've had coaches that have subscribed to the box and they're giving it as like a monthly prize to the best girl, things like that start to spread the word. And we do encourage people to add people who they think would benefit from the group into the group, and that's been a really lovely, I'm quite happy for it to grow naturally at the moment, and then sort of take it from there and see what happens with it.
That's a fantastic picture. That's so great.
I know. It really does sum up how amazed me and my daughter were that this was actually working, that people really wanted to be involved in this.
And she had a massive say on what was in the box, I'm guessing.
Oh, massively. Yeah, it's not going in the box if she doesn't approve of it. 100%.
Oh, love to hear it. Absolutely love to hear it. Now we got a poll up as well today, because we wanted to hear from the Daily Express viewers, readers. So let's take a look at the poll. Should be more be done to inspire girls to take up football at a young age? Now, this is the Daily Express demographic, so do bear this in mind. Yes, definitely. No, it's up to the person, 38%. What would you say to the people saying no?
I mean, they're saying, if you can't see it, you can't be it, is really, it's out there. And I think as I said before, when I see adverts now for, football workshops or whatever's going on in my area, the fact that there is a girl in the photo, it does mean something. It really does mean something to the girls to know that they are going to be welcomed there, because it is nerve-wracking for them. And my daughter, bless her, she does turn up to trainings where she is the only girl there. And as much as she is a super confident little girl, it is still nerve-wracking. And so knowing that the coaches want her there, it really does make a huge difference. And, you know, boys have always been inspired to play football. They've always known that they can play football. It's, you know, handed to them in school. There's so many football teams that they can join. And so if it's not there, the girls can't do it. And if it is there, but they're not seeing it, they're still not going to do it. And there's absolutely no reason why they shouldn't. There is no reason why my daughter should be better at netball than she should be at football. Like, it doesn't make any sense. And it was never an option for me to play football. And I think I would have loved it so much more than netball or field hockey. But it just wasn't an option. So had it been an option, who knows? You know, I mean, I do Thai boxing as well. And again, that's not generally considered to be particularly feminine. But, you know, I did go out there and do that. And I hope that other girls do feel inspired to do whatever sport it is that they want to do, whether it's basketball, whether it's football, whether it's golf, whether it's cricket, whatever it is. If they have an interest in it, then they should be able to go out there and find those opportunities.
And it's just having the option, right? They don't necessarily have to follow that forever, but
No,
it's
of course
having the option there. And also from a subconscious perspective, just seeing the pictures. They don't necessarily have to, you know, like, oh my God, but it's subconsciously they're seeing it all, and children taking everything right.
Of course they do. And even if that's not the sport for them, just seeing women in sport is inspiring. Just seeing women achieving their goals is inspiring. So if their goal isn't sport, but they want to do something else with their life, just seeing women achieving is a huge thing, I think. And, you know, even in my lifetime, you know, at the ripe old age of 40, I have seen, you know, more and more women achieving things, and they're on my screens. And, you know, that does make a difference. It does empower you just by seeing it. And it's the same for young girls.
Hugely. And by the way, you look amazing.
Thank you. I also sell skincare.
Yeah, maybe you should start a skincare subscription box. No, but seriously, you look great. Now, in terms of the plan then, so you're going to carry on doing these subscription boxes and just
absolutely. October's box is already in the making as we speak. So yeah, I definitely want to do that.
With the co-founder for sign off, I'm guessing. She's going
Sorry,
through
do that again.
She's going through it all, the co-founder, your daughter.
Absolutely, yeah, she's all over that, don't you worry. So yeah, so at the moment I'm really focusing on that younger girl demographic. I do want to move into doing one for an older girl, but obviously, although I do have a 20-year-old, she is, you know, she's kind of gone past that a bit, but I do want to do something for the older girls because I actually think that's more important. I've kind of started with this demographic because it's what I know, and I have that little person there to help me. But I do believe that that slightly older demographic is really important for me to focus on. And I do have big plans for the company. I mean, one thing that really inspires me, or I don't know whether inspires is the right word, but the sort of barriers for girls getting into football. I mean, particularly at the moment, you know, money is tight and football is expensive, and you know, boots are expensive, and shin pads and gloves, and you know, the subs that you have to play with your club, and all of that is really expensive. And so finding ways for me as a business to help them, and finding ways for coaches. I really would like coaches to be able to do more, to maybe have a little pot of funding that they can use for girls who maybe would have that barrier to joining. And I mean, there's some amazing people doing amazing things out there. There's a company in Leeds that I've spoken to who do the football boots, sort of, you know, re-gift football boots. And in your local area, there's generally something like that. But I think things like that will really help, because, you know, if money is tight, then, you know, I'd hate for someone to not be able to play for a team because of funding. Like, that breaks my heart. Like, we aren't, you know, rich, but, you know, we're very lucky and privileged that we have enough money that our children can do these things. And I know that's not the case for everyone. And so it is really important to me that my business also looks at that. And I am moving towards doing like a bursary that people can apply for, and they will get like a set amount of money that can be put towards whatever it is that they need, whether it's boots or whether it's paying for the club subs or whatever, because to me, that is something that's really, really matters to me.
Equal opportunity for
100%.
everybody.
Yeah.
Totally agree. Right. Well, I think this is all we have time for today. But how do people who are watching have a look at your subscription boxes?
Well, my subscription boxes are at www.girlsandgoals.co.uk. And if they have daughters, granddaughters, or they themselves want to be involved in the Facebook group, then it's just at Girls and Goals on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. We're all over them.
TikTok, see? You're getting
TikTok. I'm dipping my toes in the TikTok because there's a lot of the right customers out there for me on TikTok. But yeah, well overwhelming.
Quite. Now, one question that we ask at the end of every single episode on Women in Sport is, if you had a magic wand and it could literally be anything to change something within the world of women in sport, what would it be and why?
I think totally it would be everyone having the equal opportunity to play, not having any barriers, whether that is their gender or their race or their financial situation or their location within the UK, because all of these things, just for everyone to be on a level playing field and just have the same opportunities, because that would be amazing.
Great. Lowri, thank you. I can't thank you enough for coming on. I'm already following you on Twitter, but you best accept me in the Facebook group.
Of course.
Send me in there, and then hopefully we can share the video in there and get the word out a bit more. As Lowri just said, you can find her over on socials as well. If you're catching up on the episode, then just click behind to find everything you need to know, and we will give her a tag on everything that we do as well, which is over on our Daily Express socials. If you're watching this on the Mirror Sport pages, hello on there. We will be back next week on another episode of Women in Sport Daily Express. We are, of course, as I've already mentioned, going to the Future of Media Awards, the Press Gazette, tomorrow evening, where we have been nominated for digital storytelling up against some fantastic other media outlets such as Sky News, who have been doing war reporting. So some serious competition, but nevertheless, we will be going, we'll keeping you updated on all of our socials on there to see how we are getting on. So do give us a follow on Daily Express Sport and Daily Express, as well as on our Twitter and on Facebook. Thank you very much, Lowri, once again for coming on, and we will catch you next week.